Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kirpa classes. Our today's topic is Polynomial Module 1. In this course, the students will understand the meaning of polynomial. They will understand that polynomial is an algebraic expression consisting of variables and coefficients where variable is raised to the power of non-negative integer exponent, that is non-negative power. The students will also understand that the variable means a letter or a alphabet, that is variable can be x, y, z. The students will also understand that the coefficient is a number which is attached with variable, that is in the case of 5x, 5 is the coefficient. In case of 7y, 7 is the coefficient. The students will also understand the meaning of term in the context of polynomial. They will understand that the term is a combination of coefficient and variable. The students will also understand that numerical number alone cannot be a polynomial, because numerical number alone can be constituted only as a constant, whereas in the case of a polynomial the term has to be a combination of coefficient as well as a variable. The students will also understand that the power of the variable in a polynomial cannot be in negative. The power of the variable in a polynomial has to be either 0 or positive whole number, that is it can be anything just as 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. The students will also understand that normally the polynomial has one variable, but we will also come across polynomials where there are multiple variables. That is normally the variable may be single, that is x variable, but there are chances that the variable may be more than one, that is the variable may be x, y, z in the single polynomial. The students will also understand that the terms in a polynomial can contain different powers of the same variable. For example, 7x square plus 2x plus y. Next, the students will also understand that the terms of the polynomial are not compulsorily required to be arranged in the descending order of the degree of variable. It is usually done, or it is by convention, that the terms of the polynomial are arranged in the descending order of degree of variable so that we can easily identify the terms with highest variables and with the lowest variables, and we can work with the polynomials if we are to do some work such as addition of polynomials or subtraction of one polynomial from another. Now the topic before us is meaning of polynomial. Polynomial word consists of two words, poly and nomial. Poly means many and nomial means term. So polynomial means many terms. So now the question arises, what is the meaning of term? In the context of polynomial, term means combination of variables and coefficients Now again the question arises, what is the meaning of variable and coefficients? Initially we were finding out the meaning of polynomial and then term, then variable, then coefficient. It seems to be some complicated to understand the meaning of polynomial, but it is not so. You will find the meaning of polynomial very easy. Now we will first understand the meaning of variable. What is the meaning of variable? Variable means an alphabet or a letter. Alphabet means A, B, C or X, Y, Z. So if we write 3x, here x is variable. If we write 7x plus 2y, here x and y are variables. Another important point with regard to variable is that the value of variable can be anything. That is, we will understand the same with the help of example. The value of x can be 0, value of x can be 1, or value of x can be -1. So now we proceed further. What is the meaning of coefficient? Coefficient means the number which is associated with variable. So now if we write, say, 5x, so you have already understood that x is the variable. So this number which is attached with the variable x is 5 is coefficient of x. So if we write 2y, here 2 is the coefficient of y. Here 2 is the coefficient. So if we write 5x plus 2y, so here 5 is coefficient of x and 2 is coefficient of y. So any number which is associated with variable, the variable can be x, y, z, a, b, c or any other alphabet. Normally the variables are taken as x, y, z or a, b, c. Now we will understand the meaning of terms. Term is a single mathematical expression that is either a variable. Variable may be x, y, z, etc. This is example. That is, the term may be simply x, simply y or simply z. Or the term may be a number. The number means it may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 7, it may be 9 or any other number. The term may also be a product of number and a variable raised to a power. What is its meaning? It means that it is the mixture of this and this, combination of both. That is, the term can be, say, 7x, 2y, 9z. Next, it is also written as it can be raised to a power. That is, it can also be, example of term can be 7x raised to the power 2, 9y raised to the power 3. These are all examples of terms. So now the question arises, there are two questions which have so far arisen. We have already learned that polynomial consists of many terms. Because poly means many and nomial means term. So polynomial means many terms. Now the question arises, if there is only one term only, then what is the position? Whether it will be called a polynomial? Another question which arises is whether, if while raising the power it is in negative, whether it is also to be considered as a polynomial. Whether if there is a single term, whether it will be called a polynomial, or if the power of the variable, here the power of the variable is in negative, whether it can be considered a polynomial. We will find the answer to this in our next lecture. Now the topic before us is polynomial explanation. We will here explain the polynomial. Now this is an algebraic expression before us. This is a polynomial. In this polynomial 5, this 5 is the coefficient of x square. 5 is the coefficient because 5 is attached to a variable x. Here x, this x and this x, these are the variables. As already told, in a polynomial normally x, y or z are taken as variables. Here 3 is coefficient of x. Now this is 4. This is the constant term. That is, its value does not change. Now this 5x square, this is a term because it is a combination of coefficient and variable. Again this 3x, this is also a term. Now 4, this is also a term. Now all these terms come together to form a polynomial. Now the question arises whether a polynomial can consist of a single term. We had raised this question earlier, whether a polynomial can has a single term, because we had learnt that poly means many, nomial means terms, polynomial means many terms. Whether a single term can form a polynomial. So the answer is yes, a single term can form polynomial. But here is a condition. And what is that? The term should be the combination of coefficient as well as the variable. This is the coefficient, this is the variable x. Combination of both should be there. If we say that 4 is a polynomial, because 4 is a term, we have learnt that a single term, this is a single term, 4 is a single term. Whether if we write that 4, it is a polynomial. No, it is not, because it is only having 4. We can say that it is only having coefficient, but variable is missing. We have learnt that the term consists of variable plus coefficient. So in the case of 4, it is only a constant. So this cannot be regarded as a polynomial. Though a single term can form a polynomial, but its example can be, say, 2x, 3y. Here it is a mixture or a combination of coefficient as well as variable. Now we have already given the answer to this aspect, whether the numerical number alone, can be polynomial. No. In another important point which is to be discussed here, that the terms are added or subtracted. The terms, one term is added with another term and this is subtracted, and ultimate we form a polynomial. Now the question before us is whether the power of variable in a polynomial can be negative. We will try to find out the answer of this question. Suppose I write 3x plus 2y minus 4 and I write y raised to the power minus 1. Whether it is a polynomial, this is a question. Whether it is possible that the power of the variable can be negative. So the answer is no. The power of variable in a polynomial cannot be negative. The power of variable in a polynomial can only be 0 or positive whole numbers. What is its meaning? 0 or positive whole numbers. It means that the power of the variable can be such as 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So if we write 3x plus 2y cube minus 4, it is okay. This is a polynomial. But if we write the power in negative, it is wrong. In the same way, if we write, say, 7x plus 2y raised to the power 1 over 2 minus 4, whether it is correct? It is again not correct. We cannot regard it as an polynomial. Why? Because polynomial cannot have variable where its power is in negative or in fraction. Here, when we divide 1 over 2, 1 by 2, it becomes 0.5. So the power becomes in fraction. So whenever the variable has negative power, or whenever variable is raised to the power of a fraction, it is cannot be construed as a polynomial. Polynomial can only have a term in which the variable is having non-negative integer exponentials. That is, the power of the variable has to be either 0, 1, 2 or 3 or so on. So now we will write the definition of polynomial. A polynomial is an algebraic expression consisting of coefficient, variables, where variable is raised to the power of non-negative integer exponents. Exponents means power. Non-negative integer power. That is, the power of the variable cannot be in negative, and polynomial is an algebraic expression which consists of coefficients. This is the coefficient, this is the variable, and where variable is raised to the power of non-negative, that is, it cannot be in negative or in fraction. Now the question before us is whether a polynomial has only one variable. So the answer is normally a polynomial has one variable. That is, for example, px is equal to 3x square plus 5x minus 5. Here, what is the meaning of px? P stands for polynomial, x stands for variable. It means that polynomial with variable x. So here you can find that here x is the one variable. So this is the polynomial. 3x square plus 5x minus 5. Here this is the coefficient, x is the variable and 5 is the constant. So, but it must be remembered that the polynomial, however, the polynomial can have more than one variable. It is not that the polynomial will always consist of a single variable. There may be chances that the polynomial can have more than one variable or multiple variables. For example, we write p xy is equal to 4x plus 10xy plus 3y square minus 6. So here you can see that x and y are two polynomials. Here we have used the words p and in bracket x comma y. Here p stands for polynomial and x is the variable, y is the variable. So p x y means polynomial with variable x and y. Now we take another example of polynomial with multiple variables. Polynomial x, y, z, y square plus 2x, z plus z cube. So here you can see that P stands for polynomial with variable x, y and z. Here y is a variable, x is a variable and z is also a variable. So we can conclude that the polynomial may have only one variable or the polynomial can also have multiple variables. Now the question before us is whether the terms in a polynomial can contain different powers of the same variable, and the another question is whether the terms of the polynomial are compulsorily required to be arranged in the descending order of the degree of the variable. Now the first question is whether the terms of in a polynomial can contain different powers of the same variable. It means that if we say 3x square plus 2x minus 1, that is the polynomial can have the variable with different powers. Here you can see that here the variable x is having power 2 in the first case 3x square, but in the case of 2x term the power of x is 1. So the answer is the terms in a polynomial can contain different powers of the same variable, but it must be remembered that the power cannot be in negative. Further, the power of the variable cannot be in fraction. The power of the variable has to be in either 0 or in whole numbers, that is 1, 2, 3. So the answer is the terms in a polynomial can contain different powers of the same variable, but it must be remembered that here the power is not to be either in negative or it can also be not in fraction. It has to be in whole numbers. It may range from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now the next question before us is whether the terms of the polynomial are compulsorily required to be arranged in the descending order of the variable. What is the question? Let us understand the same with the help of example. Suppose I write 5x cube 2x plus 3x square minus 6. I write the same term again 5x cube plus 3x square plus 2x minus 6. So from the perusal of both these polynomials, you find that 5x cube is here, 5x cube is here, 3x square is here, 3x square is here, 2x is here, 2x is also here, minus 6 here, minus 6 is also here. So both these algebraic expressions seem to be the same. both these polynomials appear to be the same. Now the question is whether the terms of the polynomial are compulsorily required to be arranged in the descending order of the degree of the variable. That is, the variable where the power is highest should come first and it should be followed by the next highest power variable, that is after x cube that term should come which has next higher level power. From here you can see that 5x cube is to be followed by 3x cube, and after that term should come where the power is 1, or it may not be there. It can also be possible that there is no term with power x1. So by convention or usually the terms of the, it is not compulsory that we should arrange the variables or the terms in the order of the power of the variables in the descending order. It is not compulsory to do so. However, it is by convention or usually it is done that the terms of the polynomial are arranged in the descending order of the degree of variable. It is by convention, but it is usually done so. Why it is done so? So that we can easily identify the highest power and the lowest power of the variable, and we can also do work with the polynomials. What type of work is required to be done? Suppose we are asked to do some multiplication or some addition or subtraction of two polynomials. Suppose this is the case. Then here we are to do, suppose, addition of these two polynomials. Now, if we are to do the addition, whether it will be possible that we can do addition in this way? No. We will have to do addition in this way, that we will write the first in the with the highest power polynomial in the way that where the variable or the term with the highest variable comes first. Here 5x cube, it is now here the highest power of the variable is this 7x, where x is raised to the power 4, then comes with power 3, then comes 2x, 2x square. No, here it is 5x square. Here it is 5x. We have written 7x square, 5x cube, 5x square. Here comes 2x, then comes plus 6. Now we will rearrange this one. 2x cube, 2x square plus 7x. Now we can easily add these. Here the answer can be 7x raised to the power 4. Here 5 plus 2, 7x cube. It will become 5x square plus 2x square, 7x square. Here it will become 2 plus 7, 9x plus 6. So it becomes easily for us to do work with the polynomial if the terms of the polynomial are arranged in the descending order. Because here is a uniformity, that is first comes the highest degree, then comes the next highest level degree, then comes the power which is below this power, that is after x cube comes x square, and after x square comes x, and then comes constant. So in the same way we will arrange the next polynomial so that we can do addition or subtraction. So it becomes easy. So it is, though it is not compulsory that the terms should be arranged in this manner in the descending order, but it is by convention or it is usually done so. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.